Hello, thank you for joining me for today's video. My name is Tracy Held. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne in Australia. This is the card that we're going to be making today. These are the products that we're using for this card. I'm using the Blessings of Home stamp set, and I'm also using the Honeybee Home stamp set. So this is the Heart and Home suite, which is one of those big suites which has 2 stamp sets and 2 lots of matching dies in the stamp set. We're going to be using the little bee to cut out the bee from the Honeybee Blossoms dies. And we're using the big flower die from the Flowers of Home dies. I'm also using some of the DSP from the Heart and Home DSP. Now, I think I've grabbed a different one than I used here and I've cut it the other way. But this DSP is lovely DSP. The back has all different looks of this grey and white wooden plank look. So whichever one you like, they all work equally well. And we're going to be using the classic matte dots, which are also part of the suite. I'm also using a whole lot of the Stampin' Blends combos. We've got my light and dark Fresh Freesia, light and dark Flirty Flamingo, soft succulent, Poppy Parade, Calypso Coral, and So Saffron. So I've used quite a lot of colors in coloring in those flowers, but it makes it all look pretty. Here are the measurements that we're going to need for this card. To start off, I'm going to take a piece of vellum and I'm going to stamp my big flower die onto the vellum. Now, I'm just using Memento. You can use the StazOn. This will stamp fine. You just need to make sure that, number one, when you stamp it, you don't smudge it. It will slide, so just stamp down and lift up without sliding the stamp. And you need to be patient and give it a bit of time to dry. And then at the same time, I'm going to just stamp the bee. Put that aside, let it dry. You don't want to smudge it. While I'm doing my stamping, I'm going to stamp my sentiment in the basic grey. Alright, now our vellum has had time to dry. So we're going to turn it so that we've got the back side up. I always do simple colouring. All that I'm going to do is start with my light colour. And then add a bit of dark to highlight it. We're going to do that on all the flowers. If it looks like it's looking a bit pale, you can just go and colour over to make it darker. Right, now I'm not colouring in this flower, that flower or that leaf because I know that I'm going to cut them out. So now I'm going to take my die and my little bee die, and I'm going to run those through my cut and emboss machine. Now I'm going to cut this up a little. We're cutting around this big flower. It becomes really difficult to see which side is the front side and which was the back side, but it doesn't really matter. Oops. Let's just make that a little less pointy over there. There we go. And before I put all my blends to the side, let's just put a little bee to go on the inside. We've got our card base. Insert can go inside. And my DSP on the top. I'm going to layer my sentiment over my slightly wider strip of basic grey. I'm just going to put a few glue dots behind here. And normally you've got to be careful when you're gluing vellum, but because we've coloured it and the glue dots are quite little, they don't seem to show up behind. So my bigger flowers can go into the corner over there. Just want to see. I think that this time I'm going to have it going that way. last glue dot for my little bee who's going to be, there we go. Flying towards the flower. Right, so it looks like I've used slightly different colouring here, but those are our cards. And while I'm looking at that, let's not forget my matte dots. I hope you enjoyed making this card. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and you'll be informed every time a new one goes up. Until next time, happy crafting.